calling a request for an emergency hearing for guardianship and conservatorship for Tamara Stillman. And the names of our participants, please, beginning in the courtroom.
Michael McFarland, attorney guardian ad litem.
Nicole Underwood for the petitioner.
Under
Who is appearing
Cynthia,
via Zoom.
Cynthia, thank you. Under Cynthia Robert, could you introduce yourself, please?
Sure, Cynthia Roberts. I'm Tamara's mother.
Under Tecumseh's iPhone, who's joining us?
This is James Stillman. I'm Tamara's ex-husband and Luke's father.
Thank you. And under Kenneth Trowbridge? If you could unmute and introduce yourself, please.
Try that again. Kenneth Trowbridge, Tammy's father.
Thank you.
I believe he's there with Tammy.
Ms. Underwood.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Stillman's family came to me recently after Tamara was admitted to the hospital unexpectedly with some severe illnesses that caused her to be unconscious and incapacitated. She is still in the ICU to my knowledge, but is slowly improving. However, the extent of her medical needs at this time make it so that she's unable to really make those her own medical decisions for herself. So we are asking the court to appoint a temporary guardian with respect to her mother, Cynthia, to be able to make medical decisions on her behalf. Ms. Stillman also has a home, she has a bank account, and she has bills that need to be paid, or we need to see what needs to be paid, and we want to make sure that she is maintaining her health insurance and maintaining her other bills. So we do believe at this point as well that a conservatorship is necessary. We're asking that her father, Kenneth Trowbridge, be named as the conservator of her assets. The parties have been working very well together to make decisions thus far, but we do need that legal authority to be able to make some important decisions with her health moving forward, as well as having somebody be able to maintain and preserve her assets while she has time to improve and get better. So we're asking the court to, again, approve the temporary guardianship, as well as appoint Mr. Trowbridge as conservator over Ms. Stillman's assets.
It would appear that we're looking for the proof of personal service on Ms. Stillman. Do you know if that's been accomplished?
It has not yet, because this all was done as of yesterday.
It has, Your Honor.
Oh,
I did that yesterday. I made a correction to the date. It was May 1st. I changed it to May 2nd. So I can fill out a proof of service that I did serve her.
Thank you. I appreciate that update. Mr. McFarland.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did visit Tamara at Toledo Hospital yesterday. She was unable to speak. She was being incubated, monitored in intensive care. She was able yesterday to nod her head, a positive yes and no. Her answers were appropriate with the questions asked. I also know she's buying a business, a home where her and her boy live needs to be paid for. I have questioned the proposed guardian, her mother, the proposed conservator, her father. Neither of them have criminal history. Neither of them have any history with adult protective services, child protective services. Mr. Trowbridge has no financial issues, no active collections, no bankruptcies. So I would support the temporary guardianship. Hopefully that she'll be better by the 23rd to make her own decisions, and also support the conservatorship at this point in time. The minor child is being taken care of by his father, Mr. Stillman, who does have custodial rights.
Thank you. Do you find the emergent circumstances to be at the level that requires the temporary?
I do, Your Honor. She's completely unable to communicate other than nods. She's bedridden. She's undergoing, supposed to be today, tomorrow, tracheotomy. So she's still under intensive care, and she is at the intensive care unit at the hospital.
What about as it relates to her finances?
I do. There's a question regarding her medical insurance being paid. Obviously, she's going to need that for the intensive care she's receiving. She has a house. We need to make sure the payments are being made for her and her son. She's also purchasing a business, Wachovia Services. We need to make sure that that is there for her when she gets out. So, plus her normal bills, so her credit's maintained, Your Honor. But she's worked hard to preserve a good credit. So for those purposes, yes, we do need a conservatorship.
Good. Do you think that we should insist that Mr. Trowbridge allow us to visually confirm Tamara Stillman's condition as of this morning?
He can, he's at the hospital, Your Honor, but I don't know that we need to do that. I think everybody's in agreement with her condition.
And you verified that yourself?
I was there personally yesterday, and I did serve the paperwork.
Do you think we should hear from anyone else?
Not necessary for me, Your Honor. If the court wishes to view her, I believe Mr. Trowbridge could do that.
Ms. Underwood, were you anticipating any testimony this morning?
No, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Trowbridge, are you at a place where you could help us confirm visually that Ms. Tamara Stillman would be available to us if she were to choose to participate?
Correct.
All right. If you could do that now, I would appreciate it.
All right, I'm just outside.
Certainly a nice day for that.
I got you on camera, baby. This is Tammy.
Good morning, Tammy. All right, thank you, Mr. Trowbridge. I appreciate that. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, I will let the petition and the circumstances of Mr. McFarland's testimony be what you need to make your decision.
Thank you.
Ms. Underwood will prepare a proof of service for me. I will sign it, submit that to the court.
Good, thank you. All right, the court finds all interested parties were given notice for purposes of today's hearing. That's based on what I have contained in the file as well as Mr. McFarland's assertions. I appreciate his investigation. He was asked at the last minute to go out and do this investigation, and he's been able to accomplish that. Thank you also to the family members that have made it possible for the court to verify for the record itself the conditions that brought this case in front of the bench today. I rely on the facts and circumstances outlined in the petition, as well as the report of physician that was accomplished by Dr. James Case of the Critical Care Medicine Unit, a physician who indicates that on 4/24, he examined also Ms. Tamara Stillman, finding metabolic encephalopathy, necrotizing pneumonia, sepsis, and renal failure contributed to, unfortunately, an ongoing altered mental status wherein Ms. Tamara Stillman is unable to consent or refuse care at this time. She is on Seroquel, Precedex, propofol sedatives, and only minimally responsive, according to the remarks made by the doctor on the 24th. He found her to be not able to make informed decisions in the area of determining where to live, consenting to supportive services, handling personal financial affairs, and authorizing or refusing medical treatment. He did find that she has a prognosis of good, and I did have the brief opportunity to talk with the attorneys today to find out that she has had some improvements even in the last 24 hours, which is very encouraging. So, for all the reasons articulated about why she needs a temporary guardian and conservator, I am granting that request. I do have clear and convincing evidence that a guardian is necessary to ensure decision-making and continuity of care for Ms. Stillman, as well as the conservatorship for the same reasons and for the reasons that she does have some assets and has, as Mr. McFarland remarked, worked hard for those things. And I further appreciate her father stepping up to make sure that those things can stay in place for her as she recovers. We'll have a full hearing on this case May 23rd, 2024 at 2:00 p.m. And in the meantime, the temporary appointments for guardian and conservator will be in place, allowing her father, Mr. Kenneth Trowbridge, to exercise those authorities as conservator. And I have a request, I think, for Ms. Cynthia Roberts to be the guardian. Is that right?
That's correct.
Mr. McFarland, did you have any comments on that? I know you made some comments as it relates to Mr. Trowbridge.
I also made a comment regarding her, Your Honor, that she's vetted. She has no criminal history, no adult protective services, no child protective services history. She's appropriate, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm sorry if I missed that.
No problem.
All right, thank you. Best of luck. I'm very sorry about your circumstances at the moment. But unless there's any questions, that's all for this morning.